Welcome to The Explainer. Do you ever feel like you're just launching emails out into the universe, hoping for the best? Well, today we're going to change that. This is about so much more than just hitting send. It's about using data to build real connections and, yeah, get some serious results. So let me ask you this. Are your emails flying blind? Are you just sending them out into the digital abyss with your fingers crossed? Or are you in the pilot seat with a clear dashboard of instruments telling you exactly where you're headed and how to get there? Here's the game plan. First, we're going to learn how to read that dashboard. Then we'll turn all that data into smart decisions. After that, we'll cover the non-negotiable rules of the inbox. And finally, we'll zoom out and talk about playing the long game for real success. Okay, let's dive right in. First things first, you got to understand the key instruments on your dashboard. These are the core metrics that tell you exactly how healthy your campaigns are. First up is delivery rate. And look, this is the absolute bedrock of everything. If your email doesn't actually get to the inbox, well, nothing else can happen, right? You're shooting for over 95% here. A good rate tells everyone you're a trustworthy sender, which is huge. Next, we've got open rate. Now, for years, this was the metric for seeing if your subject line worked. And yeah, somewhere between 15 and 25% is pretty standard. But, and this is a big but, recent privacy changes mean this number isn't the gospel it used to be. It's useful for sure, but you gotta take it with a grain of salt. Okay, now we're talking. Click-through rate, or CTR. This is where you see real interest. It's not just about who opened it. It's about who was so drawn in by what you wrote that they actually took an action and clicked. A CTR between 2 and 5%, that's a fantastic sign. And that brings us to the main event, the conversion rate. This is where it all leads. This tells you how many people actually did the thing you wanted them to do. Buy the product, sign up for the thing, whatever it is. This is the metric that connects your email directly to your business goals. This visual just lays it all out so perfectly. You can see the email marketing funnel right here. You start with 100% of your emails going out, and then at each step you see a little drop-off. Your job is to keep that funnel as wide as you possibly can every step of the way, so you get more of those amazing conversions at the very end. So moving on, we know how to read the dashboard now, right? It's time to actually use those instruments to fly the plane. Let's talk about steering your campaigns to exactly where you want them to go. The single most powerful tool you have in your toolkit is A/B testing. Honestly, the idea is so simple. You make 2 versions of an email, change just one little thing, and see which one your audience likes more. It's like a head-to-head competition for your emails, and it lets the data tell you what to do next. Here's a classic example, something you could try tomorrow. We're testing personalization. So variant A is a good, solid, but kind of generic subject line. Variant B is exactly the same, except it uses the person's first name. The idea is that that little touch of personalization will make people pay more attention. Let's see. And wow, the results really do speak for themselves. The personalized one, variant B, got a 27% boost in opens and a massive 41% lift in clicks. That is proof positive that a tiny, tiny change can have a huge, huge impact. So what should you be testing? Oh man, pretty much anything and everything. Subject lines and send times are great places to start. But don't stop there. Test your layouts, your pictures, and definitely test your call to action buttons. Pro tip. You can even test the from name. The more you test, the more you learn. It's that simple. Okay, so you know how to read your dashboard, you know how to fly. But before you go full throttle, you have to know the rules of the sky. And that means understanding the law and, just as important, the ethics of marketing. This table breaks down the 2 big legal frameworks you hear about all the time. Over in Europe, GDPR is all about explicit opt-in. People have to clearly say, yes, please email me. Here in the US, canned spam is more about making it super easy to opt out, to unsubscribe. And as you can see, the penalties for getting this wrong are no joke, so you have to take this stuff seriously. But here's a really important takeaway. Following the law? That's just the starting line. That's the bare minimum. The absolute best email marketers go way beyond that. They build their whole program around ethics, respecting people, being transparent, and always trying to provide real value. That's how you build trust that lasts. Let's look at a common situation. Creating real urgency, like, hey, this sale actually ends tomorrow, is a totally fair and ethical marketing tactic. But using a fake countdown timer or pretending there's scarcity when there isn't, that's just manipulative. Sure, it might work once, but it completely destroys the trust you need to build a real business. So, when you're in a tough spot, how do you make the right call? Well, a simple framework like this can be a real lifesaver. Before you send, just run through it. What's the long term impact? Am I being totally transparent here? Am I truly honoring the permission they gave me? Asking these questions will help you build relationships, not just chase clicks. All right, for our last section, let's pull the camera way, way back. We're going to zoom out from the details of a single campaign and look at the big picture, planning your strategic flight path for the whole program. You know, a really mature email program measures things on three different levels. Operationally, you're doing those daily health checks. Tactically, you're looking at weekly campaign results and your A/B tests. And then strategically, you're looking at the quarterly and yearly impact on the big stuff like ROI and customer lifetime value. And what's so powerful about this is that it connects everything. That small operational task you do, like cleaning your email list, it ladders all the way up to those big picture metrics that the leadership team really cares about. It makes sure every single thing you do is pushing you towards your final destination. So, what's the ultimate takeaway here? It's this. We've talked a lot about metrics, but at the end of the day, the numbers aren't really the goal. They're just a reflection of something way more important, the relationship you have with your subscribers. Build that relationship on trust, and you will build a business that lasts. And when you build that trust, the results can be, well, they can be incredible. It's not crazy for a well-run, ethical email program to see a return on investment of over 400%. There's a reason it's still one of the most effective marketing channels out there. And that leaves us with one final thought. Take a hard look at your own email strategy and ask yourself this one simple question. Are you just chasing the next click, or are you building the kind of trust that lasts a lifetime? Because the answer to that will define everything.